Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. It's May 12th. Prices of BTC currently at 7,150. We saw a pretty quick shakeout overnight over the past couple of hours, but nothing really to worry about, at least not yet. So I'll go through the levels that we need to talk about to watch out for if the trend is going to be invalidated, if the structure is going to break, and we'll also talk about some of the trades that we're in. But for now, if you haven't already, guys, if you're watching this YouTube video, I've opened up all our Advantage channels to free members. So if you're watching this YouTube video right now and you're not in our Discord, this is our Discord logo right here. And if you don't see all these channels like Trader Talk and short term, medium term, long term, you should be able to click on these and see what's inside. Do come join. You can just go to cryptosomniac.com, products right here, and click on Cryptosomniac Advantage right there, sign up, and you should have access to everything. Okay, so in these I've made a lot of trade setups for you guys. Again, this is not investment advice. All these trades that I've put up for y'all, they're yielding some pretty good gains right here, as you can see. 11% right there on LTC, 12% on BCH, 11% on Ethereum. Bitcoin is up about 22-23% now. BAT is up about 1% or 2%. So take a look at these channels right here for more information, okay, whenever you do join. And then this is usually where we have a majority of our conversation, Trader Talk right here, or a community discussion. Okay, so cryptosomniac.com, products page, come join. Okay, so here's the BTC analysis for today, and this is something that we need to talk about, which is this big run up from about 5,800. Once we broke out of this area right here, you could see that we retested it as support and then just took off. Okay, so this retest right here was the first real break that we needed to ensure that the bulls are really on our back and they're ready to push prices higher. Okay, so once we had this, we kind of just took off and didn't look back. All right, but now we're facing some strong headwinds at right around 7,500. I think prices touched all the way close to 7,600, but let's just say 7,500, right? So where exactly does that come from? Okay, so if we look at this chart right here, previously we had the 6,900 area as resistance, and then way back here in September, this was really the top of 7,500 right there. Okay, so once we had that top, we had a big dump off and didn't even climb back to that same level. So it's no surprise that we're sort of facing some similar resistance in that area for now. But the way BTC has been going, kind of on this big parabolic move right here. Again, parabolic moves are usually just straight moonshots like that, sort of like what we had back here in 2017. This big parabolic move right there, right? So with that big parabolic move, usually there's a bit of downside momentum that comes after it. I don't think we are there just yet. I mean, not to say that we're not at the start of it, but usually you can't just sort of definitively say that, hey, we've topped out at 7,500 until one of two things happen, okay? First thing is, you could look at something like this right here, which was previous resistance, right? Because we came up strongly, got rejected, came back down, tested it again, moved sideways, and then broke up. Then we tested the same area as support, and then we moved on up. Okay, so probably this level is fairly critical in holding prices up. So to be safe, we'll mark it right around that area right there. Okay, 69.75. When candles start closing under this region, and I mean at least a 4-hour candle, then the structure has changed. Okay, structure has changed, meaning we've had these higher lows like this and higher highs, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the Cryptosomniac page, take my technical analysis course, and you'll figure out what exactly I mean by that. Okay, so for the most part, what we've been seeing is higher lows like this, as you can see, right? See, this means that this bullish structure has still been in place, okay? Not only do we have higher lows like that, but we have a higher high like this every single time, right? We've been topping off higher and higher, and we keep aiming higher and higher, okay? This is the clear sign of bullish momentum to the upside, okay? Now, when structure changes, what happens is a level like this is first broken, usually, okay? So what happens is you're going to first see 69.75 be broken on either a 4-hour, 12-hour, or a daily candle, and prices close under that. Next thing you're going to see probably is prices are going to try to come back up, but they're not going to, reach up this high. They'll probably just turn back over and create a lower high as per this swing right here. Usually it's somewhere in this region right here where you see the first, rejection wick right there. So it'll probably be somewhere in this vicinity right here. Okay, so anywhere between say 71.50 all the way to 73.50. That will be the region that you want to watch. If prices look like, we're going to come back from here, turn around, and then roll back over again. This is usually the first sign of weakness. Next sign of weakness is if that turnaround happens, what happens after? Do we create a lower low, a lower high, another lower low, another lower high? Okay. Once you start seeing one or two of these, all right, trend is shifted, momentum has shifted. Downside is expected at the very least to the next biggest support level. Okay. So now we have to look for what's the next biggest support level. Probably this flip right here that happened around 6,300 or so. Okay, there's a lot of choppiness right here. Beyond that, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now. Beyond that, 6,000 is probably our next support somewhere in this region right here where this area was flipped. Okay, so now a couple levels to look for. Okay, 69.75 is one level. All right. Then you want to look for somewhere in this vicinity right here. Okay. If prices come up to this level, right? Kind of like, say, if we turn back around and we look like we're creating another lower high, and then we go down under this and create a lower low, lower than this, say, then you know that, okay, it looks like we may be starting a new, shift to the downside. So time to get out, close out your trades, take your profits, move on away, okay? And wait for the next support. For all I know, prices could bottom out at, say, the 6,000 level or 6,500 and then start as a new trend on the way back up, okay? So now levels to look for, momentum to watch out for, what kind of structure we're looking for to the upside or the downside. Now let's coordinate that with some of our trades, okay? So again, if you look in our community, I provide all this information right here in medium term or short term, depending on what kind of trade setup this is. Again, this is for my purposes. I'm just explaining to you guys what I'm doing. If you want to follow what I'm doing, that's up to you. But in no way is this a buy or a sell signal. We don't do that in our community, okay? All right, so I mentioned that these are some of my stops. All right, Ethereum, my stop is at 186. So let's take a look at Ether. Okay, here is Ether right here. Yesterday, this one stopped me out, but I mentioned that only half my position was stopped out at 186, and I still closed it with an 8.3% gain. LTC was fully stopped out at 83.5 with a 6% gain right there. Okay, so let's check out LTC. All right. Same thing. I got stopped out on this wick right here. This is why sometimes these wicks can be both, I don't know, they can save you or they can really screw you over by stopping you out and then the prices push up higher. So it sucks, but it's better to, get stopped out on positions like that than have, no stop at all and then you just get liquidated somewhere down here because you're forced to sell out because now you're at a loss. Okay, So I'm out of LTC. I have half a position Ethereum, which I have left the same stop. Now let's check out BCH. All right, my BCH position is, the stop is, where is it? It says it right there, 312.5. Okay, so BCH is a big, really high runner right here. So I might even move that stop up a little bit higher, close out at 333. So it's something to keep in mind. So that way, I will have amassed, I think my average was 288 or something. So right there, from there to there, that's a nice 15% gain on BCH. Okay. Versus if I stopped it out at 312, that's a 8.5% gain. Right. So 8.5 versus about 15%. So I think I'll move my stop up right there. All right. Now, the final trade that I have open is BAT right there. Okay, so my BAT stop is at 0.337. So we haven't quite hit that yet. Unfortunately, BAT may move down a lot faster if BTC does as well. So I'm really hoping that BTC sort of holds its own right now. Especially on this this hourly chart, you could see that BTC really wants, it's struggling right here. I mean, this is, at least on the 4 hour, it's fairly close to a bearish engulfing, but it's not. So thank God for that. But the next candle, it looks like there's, a decent amount of sellers tied to it. You can see the volume on this candle was just as high as the volume over here on this candle. The volume required, the candle preceding to that, was not as high. So, I think once you see some exhaustion from the sellers right here, right around this $6,900 area, and you see a safe landing spot, it's a possibility that you can jump back into your trades again. I personally will have to reassess the market, see how it is, but just some levels to look out for, okay? All right, so now you know how our community operates. I put all this information. Again, these are read-only channels, guys. All these channels, actually, short-term, medium-term, long-term, and Bitcoin analysis are all read-only. So you can just go in there, click on it, see what I've posted in terms of updates, and see what's going on, the videos I put up. And again, I do this every single day. We have a very active community. So do come join, and let me know how you like it. Okay. Other than that, the daily chart right here, I mean, it still looks very good. It's still, on this upward trajectory of this parabolic move. Nothing, too shifty about this candle right here to worry about just yet. This was a big, massive bullish candle that kind of pushed through a lot of levels. So it's no surprise that we're going to see at least a bit of maybe sideways action, maybe some, pullback to the levels that I talked about earlier, maybe 7,000, 7,100, 6,900, that region right there. Okay. But for the most part, prices are moving along just perfectly. All right. Now here's something, this is one of the charts that I like to, pull up and keep on the side, because I like to look at how LTC, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash are comparing in terms of movement to Bitcoin. Okay, so for the past few months, these three right here, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash, would do significantly better than Bitcoin in terms of percentage movement. But as of late, Bitcoin has kind of taken the throne and not let go of it for a good period of time, almost 10-15 days now. So it's probably better that Bitcoin is the assets that you want to get into if you want to ride this positive momentum up. Okay, just something to keep in mind. All right, alts themselves are really not looking that healthy. By the way, as you can see here are prices dipping down to these levels. There's probably a good amount of buyers waiting here. So this is why you can see prices flickering back and forth, because these are a lot of buyers filling up in this area right here, while there's a lot of stops being hit on the way down. So this is probably a critical level that you want to look out for. And if this doesn't hold, then obviously there's going to be more, downside movement. But I'd probably say at the very least, we're going to hold here for a little bit. So I'll see how that goes. Okay. And I'll keep you guys updated through the day. Going back to alts, they're really not doing exceptionally well. The crypto total market cap as a whole did move on up really sharply all the way to 84 billion. But remember that this excludes Bitcoin, but it does take into account Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. So those clearly, were a big reason because they're the top alts. They pull in a lot of market cap, and they were probably one of the main drivers for this movement right here. But other than that, majority of alts are really not doing well. Here's, ADA. Again, I know this is ADA compared to BTC because BTC is moving up. It only makes sense that most people are jumping out of alts to buy into Bitcoin because they want to ride the wave up. So it makes perfect sense that the value of Cardano versus Satoshi value is going down. Same with other alts like, say, XRP. Right there, you'll see it, taking a big tumble right there, right? But one thing I don't like about XRP is, here's something interesting, right? Again, you can do comparisons like this. You just click on that plus symbol and you just type in XRP USD, and we'll just click on, say, this one right here. Okay, so here's that XRP symbol, and we'll make this one purple. All right, so you can see XRP, and I'm going to turn the rest of these off. So I want to show you guys something where XRP is really not doing as well compared to BTC, right? So let's just say we take this inflection point right here from beginning of May. Okay, so that's been about, close to 10 days. While BTC has consistently gone up in dollar value, XRP has essentially, dwindled down. Okay, at the very least, it went up from this area right here to where it is right now. And 2 days ago or 3 days ago, it was a lot deeper. Okay, so this is why XRP is, in my opinion, not the best one that you want to look at if you're trying to trade it. Okay, same with Tron, same with a bunch of other altcoins. Okay, do be careful on those because they're really not looking good. Say for example, actually, let me do it over here. XLM is another one, right? Where's XLM? There we go. Here's Stellar sort of breaking this critical support right here. These two support levels multiple times, bouncing right here, hit this level as resistance, as you can see, and then just shot down right under. Okay, now the levels that it's probably going to come back to is these two right here, which is anywhere between 750 and 900. Okay, so do keep an eye on that. So you can see that most alts are really not looking well. Let's check out Nano because that was one of our requests. Nano is also sitting on critical support right here. Really not a good sign. More than likely it's going to tumble back down. It clearly is not finding any strength. Most alts are not finding any strength to move up in Satoshi value. Okay, and it's obviously no surprise that they can't do that because if BTC moves up, it forces other alts to devalue in their Satoshi value or either try to stay consistent. Okay, let's see the other request that we had. BAT BTC. So here's BAT BTC. BAT again is one of my favorite sort of long-term holds as well as ones to trade because it has such a wonderful chart. BAT is actually really nice because it had this descending trend line right here, the white one, as you can see, and once it sort of flagged right here and broke right through it, okay, so like this, you can see like that, it hit this, pulled back, and just ripped right through it, came back to test that support, and then moved up even higher. And now it's coming to test that same area of support and hoping that it can bounce back again, okay? But for now, BAT is looking a little bit safer than most other alts. I would probably say, even though it's safer, more than likely, if you have BAT and you're trying to compare it to BTC, it's not going to help a whole lot, because you can see that the Bitcoin to US dollar value has been going up consistently. That forces alts to devalue or jump into Bitcoin because they want to ride the FOMO train up. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Other than that, I do play in Bitcoin options as well. Here's one of my options trades right there. Again, I'm unafraid to sort of show my gains, at least on this account right here. My other accounts are a little bit bigger, so I don't really want to quite show those. But as you can see, my May 17th 6250 call is doing really well. So I'm up about a 4x multiple. And then these other ones, the reason you create sub accounts is because you want to have different calls for different directions, say. So in this account, 2 and 3 are my short directional or puts for options, meaning I'm going to bet against the price of BTC. The main account and this one right here are my long options or futures accounts. Okay, so I have different amount of BTC in each account, and the reason you divide it up is because, one, you can sort of be a little bit more organized in which accounts you pick for which direction, and two, sometimes the futures contracts here, I think they have isolation margin. So meaning that if you say just have one account and you have say 10 BTC on it, if the price goes against you on this account, on one of these contracts, it's going to wipe out your whole account. Okay, so why not divide up your 10 BTC into say 4 accounts of 2.5 BTC, and if one of your contracts goes against you, only this account gets wiped out. These 3 are untouched. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, right? So this is why I like to sort of divide up my accounts into different value, US dollar value or BTC value. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so price of BTC is still sort of doing its best to hang on by a thread in this region, as I stated. One other positive could be that this wick low right here, if that holds up and we create another higher low, I'm hoping that prices sort of climb back up to that $7,400-$7,500 level, because we've kind of seen that over and over again, where sometimes we'll have some big shakeouts like this one right here, and then we'll go up, come back to retest somewhere around that region. As you can see here's that low put in, here's that higher low, and then here's another higher low, and then we just keep on moving up. That's really what you want to see in prices, guys. Higher lows and higher highs. Keep it simple. Try not to sort of fall into the pit hole of crypto Twitter or all these random YouTubers who are trying to force TA down your throat with all these different indicators. Honestly, guys, it's really all about price action. These indicators, this is why you never see me with that many indicators, is because majority of people who know what they're doing in the technical space know that these indicators are nothing but lagging indicators that are derived from price action right here. They're lagging because they wait for price to do something, then they'll tell you, here's what I think may be happening. Either it's oversold or overbought, or exhausted, or MACD bearish flip, moving average that has turned into a golden cross or a bearish cross. So again, price action is by far the most important thing you want to look at, and then you want to start looking at moving averages and things like RSI. The Ichimoku cloud that I often use. The Ichimoku cloud is a little interesting because it actually helps project forward too, not just showing you what's happened in the past. So I find that quite fascinating too. Same with the TD sequential and the pivots right here. Okay, again, guys, come join the Cryptosomniac community. Cryptosomniac.com, click on products, go here, and then you can see all this information in my channel. I have a huge education channel right there that has a ton of material that you can read up on and become more knowledgeable on this stuff. Okay, so I hope this helped. I hope this video helped. Please do give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, because guys, I do this every single day. I put up videos every single morning and evening. I put out updates through the day. So it would help if you guys shared and spread the message about our community. If you like what I'm doing, if you like my content, we're out here to make a living too, right? So pay it forward, and I hope you guys come join. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful Sunday. Okay. Cheers, guys.